So now, according to Nicole Hannah-Jones, Cubans are white. Did you know that? Cubans are white now. Why? Because they voted Republican. And presumably, as an increasing share of Venezuelans vote Republican, they too will become white. And the only people who will not be white are the people who vote how Nicole Hannah-Jones wants them to vote. Because in Nicole Hannah-Jones's world, the way that she uses white as a stand-in for evil. And therefore, if you are a Cuban and you voted for Trump, you are evil, thus you are white. Right? This is pure unbridled racism. That's the lady who founded the 1619 Project and is the de facto editor of the New York Times. She wasn't the only person to say nonsense like this. And there's a person last night named Andrea Pino Silva, who is a movement scholar, author, and queer Cubana. She tweeted out, the Cuban vote is not the Latino vote. Cubans have been sold a narrative that they have a guaranteed path to whiteness, and many will sell out every other minority to get it. Trump's appeal is the appeal of white supremacy. Doesn't matter he won an increased share of black voters, doesn't matter he won an increased share of Latino voters. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is that if you voted for Trump, it is because you are a vicious, brutal racist. Al Sharpton, another vicious racist who has a slide over on MSNBC, he said this last night. He said the Cuban voters are just stupid. That's what happened. Cuban voters bought the socialist propaganda that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were socialist. Okay, well, it turns out that they bought into it because Democrats have embraced that label. Bernie Sanders calls himself a socialist. Democrats call themselves progressives, which in many South and Latin American countries is a synonym for socialist. That is their fault. But here's Al Sharpton pretending that Cubans are just stupid. That's why they're voting for Trump.
We don't have the same dynamics that we have in Florida, where you have, like in Miami-Dade, I think it was Joy pointed out, a large Cuban influence in terms of Cuban voters who look more to the propaganda that we're dealing with socialism and all, that offset a large black turnout.
Okay, so again, it's all about the supposed whiteness problem. Right? Arne Duncan, the former education secretary under Barack Obama, he tweeted out last night, we should stop talking about red and blue. We should start talking about whiteness. They're not going to let go of this. Not in any way, shape, or form. So if you think your media are going to suddenly learn a lesson, wrong you are. The same media who have been lying to you. And honestly, I don't know how to read the polls being this wrong nationally, except that these people either are in such a deep bubble that they have internalized their own inability to poll Trump voters and then pretended that they live in a universe of their own making, or this was a lot of push polling. Right? This was a lot of polling that was designed to disintegrate Trump support, particularly in battleground states, by saying that states like Wisconsin and Michigan were out of reach. Okay, but the media are not going to shift their story. The media have a narrative. The media have an agenda, and we need to replace them. The media were worth a minimum of 5 to 10 points for Joe Biden in this election. If it were not for the media, that is a minimum. If it were not for the media, if the media had covered Donald Trump honestly, if the media had covered politics honestly, if the media weren't damned liars in pursuit of an agenda, Donald Trump would have won easily last night. Easily. Because even if Donald Trump loses, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump losing by a combined total of probably under 100,000 votes in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Arizona, and Nevada. Right? It's an extraordinarily close election. Did you know that every like on this video creates one additional leftist tier? Don't ask me why. That's called science. To take advantage of this amazing opportunity, hit the like button.